Hello to the sign of Cancer. My name is Lynn Walden, and I'm using my deck of cards called the Intuitive Insight Oracle cards. And this is a spread for the week of December 9th for the collective energy, which means this may not resonate with a whole bunch of you. What I'm wondering about is there a structure that has become oppressive to you? That it's no longer a support. It's become a cage or a box, and you're feeling like you need to break out of it. The interesting thing, when I think about Cancer and the images that were coming to me as I think about, the symbol, the crab, as opposed to the other water signs. Pisces, I think of the ocean, right? Them almost like they're porpoise. They're all over, they're through it, they're flowing, they're Scorpio is very deep and looking and investigating and making things happen and analyzing, but really a lot of motion. And I have a Cancer rising. And the images of these little crabs in the bottom of the ocean being scared to do anything other than scuttle along the bottom. However, I think there is a real beauty in the crab, the movement of the crab, the life cycle of the crab, and the fact that it's associated with a hard shell that they will throw off when it's time, that their body is designed to actually secrete the hormones to dislodge the shell and regrow new ones. And they can actually regrow entire limbs, although it will be several molting cycles for that. But that they know how to use the seawater to inflate themselves before they actually dislodge the old shell. And that within a couple of weeks, they will grow a new one. So it's not that they're not growing. It's simply that they're doing it very intelligently in a way where they are not deeply vulnerable for too long a time. And that their ability to grow and be protected in their growth is a part of their physiology. It's a part of the innate wisdom of the physiology of a crab. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, what's going on with the Cancer collective? Because what I'm getting here is I'm getting structure coming up. And structure in a way where I'm looking at it as, okay, it seems to me there may be some fear around letting go of something. Either an attitude, a relationship, a habit, a pattern of behavior. But what you're being asked to do is to look at things with new eyes, whatever it is that you are afraid of letting go of. And there may be a concern of abandonment in there. There may be something around, let me just check and get some clarification on that card. The reason I'm wondering about abandonment is because the past, present, future comes up here. And so if you are letting go of something, even if it's a job, sometimes we can sometimes we can experience a sense of abandonment when we leave the people at our workplace, especially if we're going on to something that we think is better and they are still stuck going, I'll never get out of here. But what I'm getting also as a clarification is there may be some sense of, oh, my Cancer people, there may be some sense of shame or concern that you are abandoning, some shame around that, some feeling bad. Maybe shame is too deep a word for it. But what I'm wondering is, are you afraid that if you leave a situation or a person or an attitude that you will either be shamed for it or that it's resonating in you as a kind of bad thing, which can make very much sense because Cancer people are the ones who typically take care of other people and really focus on other people's feelings first. Gemini is good at that too. And Cancer has a tendency to do it to the point often of codependent behavior. And I say that, as I mentioned, with a Cancer rising sign. So they can be great support people, they can be really there for other people, and it can turn into a kind of codependent behavior because that kind of taking care of people can become so fundamentally a part of the persona and the ego structure of a Cancer person that to stop doing that can feel completely wrong and bad. And there can be a lot of fear around what will they be if they let go of that? Who will they be? What will their value be? And that can bring in a lot of, if that's where their value has been placed, where they perceive their value as having been placed, if that is what the relationships they have evolved and developed tells them now is what their value is, then there can be a lot of shaming in letting go of that and choosing to let go of that. And the interesting thing is, it doesn't even necessarily have to be current relationships that are making them feel that way. They might be with really great people who are very happy to help them grow beyond whatever codependent tendencies they have. It does happen, folks. Not all the time, but it does happen. But it can be coming from childhood situations because very often what will happen when Cancer is a very, very empathic sign, and the tendency for Cancer people is to read what's going on in whatever dynamic is happening and try to make it better because they are so sensitive. They don't want to feel the discord and the conflict. The thing about that is, if one is in a childhood situation where there is a lot of fear, the tendency is to get very contracted and try to close in around the tender feelings and close in around their tender feelings in a way where they can really literally not be exposed to too much of that. But the counterpoint to that is then they will be trying to take care of other people. So it's twofold. There is a structure against feeling their own deep feelings and what's good for them and what's right for them, for their deepest well-being. Because of course, as children, the tendency is to feel like we need to think that we can fix things and make them better if it's in a situation that's not great, because otherwise then we really have to face a truth that we're not equipped to handle, which is there's maybe nobody there to take care of our emotions for us and help us hold the pain of growing up and learning how to deal with emotions, which is a natural part of life. So what you are being asked to do here, Cancer, or suggested as a way to do this, is trust that there is the possibility for you to grow beyond whatever structure now has become tight. But like the crab, you don't have to be exposed in such a way so that you will never have another structure. You are not throwing off a structure and therefore vulnerable to everything beyond. You have within your system the ability to do it in a way where you can back out gently, the way a crab does. Look for the crab and back out. Now, I'm saying this, and I really want to say to you, disclaimer, this is not telling you to do anything. What it's asking you to look at is there a structure that you need to get out of, that you want to get out of? How can you look at the new possibility in a way that is not so frightening? And if you need help to do that, get help to do that. If it's a psychologist, if it's a spiritual leader, but it's what you're being asked to do is, question, Are you not moving out of something because of an old outdated pattern that is not working for you? Is this behavior that you've got, or this situation that you're in, that you find not supportive anymore, but constrictive? Can you step back a little bit? Can you reach out for help if you need it, to reframe this and to look at it differently, and to really let go of the idea of shame around changing, of being more concerned about your well-being than others? And it might be something as simple as making your kids now do the laundry, or you know making sure that whoever you're sharing a house with is doing their part of the work. Or it might be simply choosing to not always be there for everybody when they want to talk about what's bad for them. It might be you being able to say, you know what, I'm really sorry that you're feeling bad right now, but I just don't have the energy to listen to this right now. Or it might be something really bold, like, we've already talked about this like 5 times and it's still the same story. I think you need to tell it to somebody else to get some help, because it's obviously not working to say it to me. And you know what? It's really dragging me down. That would be very bold. And I support you in bold, as long as you're safe. Okay? It's all about safety here. We don't want you to blow anything up that is going to cause you any kind of physical pain, any kind of physical danger. Okay? Now, I'm saying that because of the concept of codependency, which can often come with that. Codependency can often come with narcissistic partners, and some narcissists can be, not gentle. And we don't want any kind of a situation where you are in something with a person who could be violent, who could come at you as you try to change it. So, that's what I was kind of tiptoeing around before. But if that's part of what's going on for you, Cancer, please absolutely make sure that whatever you do, you are doing safely and that you have the support you need. And as I said, it may be as simple as just choosing to let your kids clean up their own room, do their own laundry, or tell that friend that is constantly telling you the same problem, I've had enough, thank you, so long. Or just talk to somebody else for now, because I can't do it. Or, I'm going to run a bath now. No, I'm not making that cake for the bake sale. I'm having a bath instead because I want to be in a hot tub of water because I'm a crab. Okay, I think I've said enough. Be cautious, but look at your structures. Personality structures, relationship structures. Do you have shame about leaving them, or do you have bad feelings about leaving them? Are those feelings reasonable, or do they come from your past? What are you afraid of? And can you be a little bit humorous with yourself, Cancer? You can be so deeply emotional, but sometimes you forget to be funny and humorous and look for things in sometimes it's just like absurd, the lengths that we will go to maintain a pattern, or to, like, if we can stand back and look at ourselves as a cartoon, are we the roadrunner zipping around the house trying to do everything for everybody? Take a snapshot. Is it funny? Can you laugh at it? And can you anticipate what something could be? And it could be a relationship that you're in. Can you imagine what it could be like if it weren't constricting? Can you imagine what it would be like if you figure out a way for it not to be constricting based on how you are in it? Because remember, we create our structures. We use the people around us to create our structures based on what we think we should be doing, based on what we expect we will experience. But we're the ones who draw the people in, choose to be in relationship in a certain way. We create our own structures, so we are the only ones who can choose to look at it differently, get the help when we need it, look at where it came from, and then choose to change that, right? So this is actually something that could be really, really beautifully empowering for you. You can let go of your shell, your structure. You can grow new ones as you expand. And interestingly enough, we associate water with deep emotion. If the crab is using the seawater and drawing it into its body to actually break off the shell, well, what is water? Water is emotion. Use your emotions for your growth and for your benefit, instead of keeping yourself from really experiencing them in a way that can guide you to move out of whatever structure is not working for you anymore. I think I've gone on a bit because I was concerned about making sure people didn't take this in a way where they did something that completely disrupted their lives and put them in a state of potential danger. And I don't think it is going to be that for most people. But for the few of you that might be in that situation, you know what I've suggested. Get the guidance you need, get the professional help that you need, and be safe. For the rest of you, use your water. Look at your past. Are these behaviors that you can change? How can you make your structure wonderful? And try to laugh at it, to lighten the humor, and get to where you need to get in terms of what you would like it to be. Okie doke, that's it for now. And I will see you next time. And if you found this interesting, if you liked it, if it was helpful, I would ever so greatly appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription or both. It will really help me move this channel forward and reach a lot more people. And thank you for listening. So long. I'll be back.